the season starts again, we thought we'd do a quick predictions of where we feel everyone will finish in the league. But just to caveat that, these are our predictions. Might not actually happen.
Might. Definitely won't, our predictions. But yeah, I don't want anybody to be offended if I put your team in the relegation where you think they're going to win the league. Everybody thinks they're going to win the league. I think where we put Maidenhead. Yeah, but we'll come to that. So we'll start with 24th and relegation, of course. This is a team that somehow I managed to agree with them finishing 24th, but I did think they might scrape. But we'll go with 24th, just because their home record, I felt like they can grab a few wins, but they scraped at the end of last season. So it is Wilstone.
It is Wilstone. So then 23rd, this was a team that's only just got promoted into the league, and that is Braintree. We both agreed that even though they've just got promoted, they probably slipped back down. They weren't looking too great recently.
Maidenhead's manager, Alan Dev's old club. They've been in the National League before. That was my only reason that they might. But yeah, I'm definitely agreeing that I don't think they've quite got the class to stay in the league. So yeah, 23rd for Braintree.
22nd?
This was between... This was a hard one, but we went on because of the money situation with, you could probably guess it, Woking, not Southend, because they've sorted it out. Yeah, with Woking.
Yeah.
Anything else to say?
No, I just feel because they were at risk of administration that they are probably...
Scraping the barrel a little bit.
Yeah. So I feel they probably will get relegated.
So, arguably the biggest shock of the relegation zone, weirdly enough, we both agreed on this one.
Yeah, we did.
Is Sutton. I think you got more to say about Sutton than I have. No? I think they've made a lot of signings.
Yes.
They kind of put a team together.
But will that team gel?
Exactly. It's pretty much a completely new team. Relegation, I just feel like they're going to go again. They're just going to go back down again.
Yeah. Might not fought it through, so...
But we'll see. It could go the complete opposite way and the team gels. They've got all the right players and they go for playoffs. But that's how predictions work. You're never sure.
Exactly. So shall we flip that on its head and then work down? Well, who do we see being the champions? And actually, we debated on this quite a lot.
Yeah. There's some teams that have spent a lot of money. They've got some signings in. Obviously, Sutton spent a lot of money. They've got a lot of signings in. But we've just put them in a relegation zone. So, but champions was probably the toughest one, but we eventually agreed on
Rochdale.
Yeah.
They have made a lot of signings this summer, including one from Luton, and I feel like they're probably making tactical decisions here on how they're going to move forward. So I feel that might just push them a bit further. Yeah,
there's some other teams in and around that we put into the playoffs who could fight for that Champions. I just don't think where the last couple of seasons kind of been a bit like, Chesterfield, Wrexham, it's been a little bit predictable as such. They've spent a lot of money, but this season I'm really unsure.
I'm a bit unsure between the playoffs and champions, but let's stick with it.
Yeah, so for playoffs do we know who's gonna finish second? Are you sure?
No.
No.
But I have an idea.
Okay, go on.
And that is Barnet.
Okay, so we basically bracketed the whole of the playoffs into like a team of 6 teams, and we didn't really decide on who's going to finish second and who's going to finish 7th. So Barnet finished second last season.
They finished second last season.
They've made a lot of signings
14.
as well. 14, yeah. It's a lot of signings, and I think they probably signed more than that since you last checked. So, okay. We'll go with Barnet in second. So third?
Third.
Are you leaving this one to me?
I think out of the ones we've got, and you can make a decision from it, I see either Hartlepool or Halifax.
I was going to go Southend.
Completely the other end.
Okay, I'm going to go Hartlepool third.
Okay.
just because they didn't have a great season last season, and I feel they're going to step it up this year. They're going to go for it. It's going to work out for them.
I feel they do have the ability there, and I feel they have probably started the pre-season off positively.
Yeah.
So that's why I agree with that. Okay.
So 4th, can we go with Southend?
I can go with Southend. I'll agree with you.
They've turned things around from last season. They would have made playoffs last season if they didn't get a point deduction.
They've had a great investment.
Yeah, they got a new investment. I think when I last checked, they sold 4,000 season tickets, so they're going to have a big crowd at home. Yeah, that's why I've gone with them finishing in 4th, or we've gone with them finishing in 4th.
So 5th, I think.
Go on.
Halifax.
Okay.
Not just because they're Northern.
Because they're Yorkshire.
But they did make playoffs last year.
Yeah.
And when they played Maidenhead, they bounced, like, they're having an average time, then they just bounced back and jumped to the playoffs.
Yeah, they had a very good end to the season, which got them into the playoffs. So, well, I think that's what this league's about, is consistency. If you can get some consistency, well, in most leagues, you're gonna do well. It's all about the start and the end, kind of thing. The middle was a bit, but yeah, okay. Halifax in 5th.
Okay, 6th.
Are we gonna say it, or are we just gonna go with the other team?
Shall we just put it in?
I'm actually gonna go in 6th with Aldershot. Yeah.
I disagree.
Yeah, I think they've got a new keeper. They've sorted out it defensively. Going forward, I still think they probably need a striker. I definitely think they need to invest in a striker if they can't get that one back before the start of the season. But I think they're going to do well if they can keep that defensive core and a decent keeper. Then
I don't know if I agree with you.
Okay, so everyone would probably make sense why you don't agree with me when you put the next team in.
I was going to say Maidenhead 6th.
7th. Oh,
yeah, I was going to say 7th, but we're going with 7th. But I thought Maidenhead 6th. We've seen them play pre-season and think they've progressed really well. They've got some good signings. I think just looking at when they played Wimbledon, it was great to watch. Like, I think,
bearing in mind we are a bit biased on this.
We're very biased, but it's really ambitious as well. It will happen.
Yeah, I don't think we haven't lost really anyone major. Beckwith and Zico, obviously key fullbacks, but I think we've replaced them with some very good signings.
That's what I mean, like with
Bell and Dice.
Yeah.
We haven't lost the main striker, which we have done pretty much every season for the last 3 or 4. Yeah, I think we could do well. The team looks well. If we can start well against Eastleigh and Solihull, yeah, that's why we put them in playoffs. I mean, why not?
Why not?
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. Right, mid-table.
So all these teams, you could just chuck them all in pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, I agree. But I feel like towards the top of the table,
who's going to push for the playoffs? Who might just miss out?
I think who might miss out is Gateshead.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it was very unfortunate the end of last season, how it just didn't work out.
It didn't work out for them, and
with the stadium and all that, they did well last year. Are they gonna?
If they've sorted all that out, then I think they will definitely want to achieve that this year.
Yeah, I just hope they haven't lost kind of faith in the system, if that makes sense. But yeah, okay, 8th. I'm actually going to put, I know this is another biased one, because I have a bit of a soft spot for Yeovil Town.
Yes.
But I'm going to put Yeovil Town in 9th.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's jumped up than what we talked earlier. So.
Yeah, no, I just kind of had a
thought.
With
it then.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are probably going to put them towards the bottom. And maybe a few might put them towards the top just because of who they are. Obviously, they've been up in the Championship in recent times. They've been down to the National League South last year. Yeah, I think they could push for playoffs.
Okay. Also a team I think can push for playoffs, because seeing as we're just putting things out there, I'm going to put Fylde in 10th.
Okay.
I had to do some maths there. But I'm putting them in 10th. I think last year they grew, they were very consistent, they've got some really good key players and they managed to like keep some of those players like Omarod, extended his signing. So I could see them pushing for that as well.
If I would be in the second team that Jess seems to know the most about, so I would probably say she's probably going to be right on this prediction. Should we go towards who's just going to stay out of the relegation zone? I'm looking at the two teams that have been promoted this year, or Boston and Tamworth. I think they're going to finish just stay out of their relegation zones. I think they're quite easy ones to kind of say they're going to be relegated.
I also want to put York in that. I think they had
Again, you're going to put them towards the bottom.
Yeah.
I think they've spent quite a lot of money.
They did, but
they've got I don't want to mention his name, but they've signed one of our ex-players.
Oh yeah, that is true.
But yeah, no, okay, yeah. We'll put them in 18th, is that?
Yeah.
Quick maths. Okay, I'm going to go with the next one, Ebbsfleet.
Okay.
I think they'll just survive.
I
be an up and down team. So.
I'd say same about Forest Green. I'm not quite sure on them. I haven't got actually any thoughts on how they play.
I think most people are very unsure on Forest Green.
Which is why I'm putting them in that lower mid.
If they hadn't been relegated last season, it's kind of it's an and an R. So yeah, I'm gonna put them. Let's put them in lower mid. Another team to chuck in there for me is probably Solihull. I think.
But they got so well last year.
Well, they have. They spent a lot of money. Solihull just annoyed me.
Okay.
Just with their structural ticketing process, I just don't like that.
Okay.
The way I do like it because they put us at the bottom, so we only have to pay £17. But to charge £26 for the bigger games is probably, the odd Solihull fan that won't have a season ticket is going to go to an odd game. They're kind of pricing people out. I just don't like the fact they're charging more. So, okay, I won't get too angry.
Calm down. I think then in that bucket, Eastleigh.
This is the last team, so this would be 14th place.
No, actually, I'm going to change my mind what we thought. I'm going to put Dagenham there.
Okay. Yeah, Dagenham have kind of been that middle team for quite a few years, so... Yeah,
They're very consistent, I'd say, in what they do.
Yeah. I think they would be hoping for a little bit more, but I think they would also be, at the same time, happy with it, so... Yeah, okay.
And then, so, mid-table.
So, we're going with 11th.
11th.
Oldham. For me.
Eastleigh for me. Oldham haven't had a great start to their pre-season, but does that mean they're going to bounce back? But then, similarly, I think Eastleigh, when we went to see them, they were still like a strong team, even though we beat them. But they were still a strong team.
Well, yeah, went 2-0 down, and I think they thought we'd won the game.
Yeah,
and
so relaxed a bit.
We kind of turned up, and I think that's what saved us. I think that's why we're still talking about the National League now. So
that's
that
why
game was massive.
Yeah.
But I think it will tell the first few games. Obviously, it's our first game of the season, so okay. I'm still going to go with Oldham.
Oh.
So should we just go with Altrincham?
That's what I was thinking, just to please both of us.
Yeah, Altrincham. They had a very good season last year.
Season.
But they probably lost their key player in Chris. They've lost their key player in Chris Clark. So
might make them slip a bit this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
And then are we just gonna split this 50-50? We'll just go with Oldham, yeah. I don't know. EC was one of my teams actually that I had put towards the bottom. My thoughts originally, but Jess kind of swayed me the other way. So
okay, we'll go
with
with that then.
Eastleigh in 13.
And
so that's hopefully we haven't offended too many people.
But that's our prediction.